This awesome futuristic iron farm will transform your world. Everybody in Minecraft loves iron, but nobody wants to spend countless hours mining it. But good news! Iron farms no longer need to look like this. Not only does this farm look great, but it works amazingly. Pause here for the materials needed, and if you want to find out more about the mechanics used, check out Logical Geek Boy's awesome videos in the description. Getting started, mark out a 57 by 57 space and find the center of this, and you'll also need to make sure you leave 29 blocks of height. With nothing in these chests, let's go and turn the iron farm on and see how much iron we can get during this tutorial. I've popped on the Adie Futuristic texture pack, which is available to all of my patrons, so if that is something you're interested in, then check out the details in the description. But now let's kick off this. And there's our first golem. Stand in the center and, including this block, count out and place a sea lantern on the 9th block in each direction. Now, to connect up each quarter, place 2 blocks out from each of the sea lanterns towards each other, then come in towards the middle and place another block with a sea lantern next to that, and then connect the 2 sea lanterns with 2 diagonal smooth quartz blocks. With the 4 quarters done, fill in the middle with some smooth quartz for a floor, like this. For this step I'm going to be demonstrating with the cyan wool, but you'll be using the cyan stained glass. The wool just shows up better on the video. So we're going to come up 2 blocks here, then a temporary block and come up 2 more blocks. Temporary block and across, temporary block and across again, a temporary block with 2 blocks this time, 1 more temporary block, and then 2 more into the middle with a sea lantern right there. With 4 sides done, this is what it'll look like, but with stained glass. For the next stage of the dome, we're going to do the same on each of these sections here, here and in the center, and on each of the 4 quarters as well. The first thing we're going to do is do simply 3 blocks in an L like so. Next, for each of the segments, we're going to have 2 blocks at either side, and then we're going to run 3 blocks in an L shape there. So that would be 2 blocks here, 2 blocks here, and then an L shape going here. Next, we simply run a line of blocks so they're touching the edge of these. So it comes right the way around and across, up and across until we get to this block just on this side. I'll show you how that would be in the middle. We would run that here and then back in and across just in a zigzag pattern until we reach this block on the edge. For the hole that's left, we place 2 temporary blocks on each side like this. And then we place 1 block against this one, and this one, and then fill in by placing against the other temporary blocks, and then get rid of the temporary blocks like so. With a quarter done, complete that for the other 3 sides. Next, we place 6 blocks on each of these edges, so we've got a 3 by 3 in the middle like so. And with that done, we're going to place temporary blocks and a sea lantern in the middle. Now we're going to reverse the steps on the bottom dome to create an upside down dome. So we're going to place 2 blocks here, a temporary block, then 2 blocks here, a temporary block, 1 block out, temporary, block out, temporary, 2 blocks upwards, 1 more temporary, and then 2 more blocks with a sea lantern here, and do that on each of these sides. Now we'll link up this circle in exactly the same way that we did the one on the floor. So 2 blocks here and 2 blocks here. Then we'll need some temporary blocks. We'll have a block and then a quartz and a block and a quartz. Then a sea lantern on each side. Then 2 temporary blocks with a quartz on the edge. Now we fill in the glass sections again. So first with the 3, then 2 on each side with an L shape connecting them. Then running a line along just touching the corner before filling in the triangular gap on each side. And as before, we'll repeat this corner all the way round. Now we're going to start working on the iron farm portion of the build, and for this we're going to come up 3 blocks here with the glass, and then we're going to have 2 of the smooth quartz here, and that is going to go in all of these sections. With the entrance to the drop chute complete, we're going to fill in the rest of the spawning platform. And firstly, we're going to place the smooth quartz slabs this time to save us on some quartz on each of these corners, and then bring out each of the sides from the slabs there that we've just placed right the way to the edge, and fill in these platforms right the way up to the glass here and across. With the spawning area complete, we're going to fill in some glass around the edges to stop spawns in this area. We're going to fill in the gaps in the corners. We're also going to fill in right the way up this wall with the glass as well. Next, we take some warped fence gates and we run them on the edge of this glass section We'll also need to stop the water from going down this drop chute. So first of all, we'll just place some temporary blocks all the way around the edge here, and that will be used by us to place some fence gates against like this, just all the way around to stop the water. Once you've opened the fence gates, you're going to pick one of the sides, and we're going to build up in the middle block just before this drop chute 3 temporary blocks, and then place a cyan stained glass, which I'll use the wool so it's easy to see again, with 2 prismarine walls coming out the back of that. We're going to then take some more of the glass and surround this on 3 sides like so. We're then going to place ourselves a smooth quartz block here and a sticky piston on top like this facing up with another glass on top. Next, we're going to go all the way around this, right the way up to the right level at the top, and here inside at the back we're going to leave 1 block, then come up the next block and fill in 2 more glass here. At the back we're then going to have 1 more line of 6 glass just like so. And the final thing is placing a lever on this quartz block. This lever will be the on-off switch for the farm. Next, to place the beds, we need some temporary blocks. So we're going to come out 4 temporary blocks from the piston and then 2 on each side. And then we're going to take some beds and we're going to place 3 beds along the back, and then we can get rid of these blocks. Now we're going to deal with the storage system. So we're going to come down our drop chute and take out these 9 blocks. And we're also going to take out the 9 blocks beneath. And where these blocks were, we are going to place ourselves some soul lanterns. So this is on the last of the glass blocks for the 3x3. Now we're going to choose which way our entrance is going to be. And for me, it's going to be over here. So we're just going to take out 4 blocks now, just so we can get in and out. And here, opposite this, we are going to place ourselves 2 double chests here and 2 on this side. On top of these double chests, we're going to add another 5 sets. On the far side from our entrance, we're going to shift click some hoppers into the back of all of these chests. At the top, we're going to shift click some hoppers into the ones we've just placed, and then another set of hoppers into those, and another set into the top of those, just like so. Now we're going to take this hopper and we're going to shift click into it, and then 1 from the side to cover this near corner. Then we're going to take 3 hoppers and shift click into that, so all 3 of them are pointing to that one. Going to be 2 here and 2 here. Double check all of your hoppers are pointing into something. I've just noticed that this one here isn't, so we'll fix that. They should all be pointing in now. Next, take some grey concrete and place that all the way around the sides, just like this, on the same level as those hoppers. And now we're going to take some smooth quartz stairs and place a smooth quartz stair there, and we're going to surround this area with smooth quartz stairs that all curve into each other. And in the middle here, we're going to place ourselves a sea lantern. Next, on the same level as this quartz, we're going to fill in all of the available blocks, including the ones around the back here, with some smooth quartz blocks. With that ceiling done now, we're going to add some pillars going from the ground right the way up. The first of these is going to be next to the chest here. We're then going to have 1 on this corner, another 1 on this corner, 1 here, and then repeat that round the other side on the 2 corners, and then next to the chest there. And lastly, once we've taken those all the way up, we're going to add ourselves 2 crafting tables just there. In each of the gaps between these columns, we're going to add a stair at the bottom and a stair at the top. We'll put some cyan stained glass panes in the gap. We'll also add ourselves some extra storage going across like this, and we'll make sure that that is double chests going right the way through, and fill that right the way up in all of these gaps on both the left and right. Now it's time to get the zombie and the villagers in. So the first thing we need to do is come in here, this gap, and place against the quartz a water source, and that will then flow back across that, which will make the zombie bob up and down. And we will also then get ourselves a zombie. I would suggest that you build a dirt track up to this to get your zombie and just make him follow you up the track and get him in here, but I'll just use a zombie spawn egg. Once you put him in there, of course, make sure that you do cover him up with a block like this, and that's going to be a smooth quartz, and give him a name tag, or make sure he's holding an item so he doesn't despawn. Either side of him, we're going to place a glass block, and then we're going to flick our lever and make sure that the villagers that we bring in can't see him. So as soon as they do see him, and as soon as they've slept, in fact, they will start spawning golems. Now we're going to build the gangway to get to this on-off switch, and the way we're going to do this is coming to the far side from our entrance of the zombie. We're then going to place ourselves a trapdoor here, and then shift clicking a trapdoor into the edge of that, and then 3 along here with 1 sticking out the side. So we've got 6 trapdoors in total. We're then going to place ourselves 3 glass coming up the side and 4 ladders that will bring us up to the right level to get onto this trapdoor. Down here, we're going to take out 3 of the glass going this way, which will allow us a staircase to get down into the depths on the bit underneath the spawning platform. Because this is glass, nothing will be able to spawn under here. Now we're going to pick this side here, take this block out, place ourselves a trapdoor like so, flap that down, and that gives us the mechanism to get in and out. Now you can either leave these ladders here or bring them with you when you want to turn the farm on and off. To get your villagers up here, then build a dirt path, bring them up in minecarts is probably the easiest, to get them near to the beds. When it turns nighttime, they will then take the beds themselves and lock themselves to the beds, at which point whilst they're still asleep you can break the dirt platform and all the blocks around them, and it's too high for them to jump down. So they'll then be stuck here in exactly the right position, just wandering back and forth. And make sure when you do build up the next section, which I'll show you about, if you are using any scaffolding blocks, that they aren't too close, but you should be fine. The villagers shouldn't be able to get onto those. Next, we're going to come down here and we're going to come into this hole and place another line of fence gates going all the way around the edge like this, with another fence gate in the middle. And we're going to open all of these fence gates, making sure that we don't fall onto the fire, of course. Make sure we open all of these like this, and then in the middle one we're going to place ourselves, shift clicking, a nice bucket of lava, and that's going to cause us a lava blade, which will mean the golems take some damage before they fall down and they die more quickly in the fire. Final touch here is we're going to take some buckets of water and making sure to click on the glass, not the actual slabs. We're going to place 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, and then the final 2 in these corners, and that will then cause all the water to push the golems the right way in here. And now this, as soon as we open this and these guys have slept, is a functioning iron farm. Before we place the top dome, place your finger on the like button and help the video be shown to more people who might enjoy it. So I'm going to be using the cyan wool again instead of the glass because it's easier to see. First of all, and you can do this on any side, I've just chosen this one, you place 2 of the glass, then place a temporary block, 2 more glass, temporary block, we don't need one on this side, and a temporary block, so you've got the diagonal coming in, then we've got 2 blocks here, we will need another temporary block, then 2, which brings us to the center, which is going to be a sea lantern again, and we build that up on each side. As with the very first dome, we build it in exactly the same way, so we have the L shape first of all, then 2 blocks here and 2 blocks here, with it connecting up across with another L shape, and then running along, touching the corner all the way down to the other side. And then we fill in the triangle along with the other sides as well. And once you have completed the dome, it will look like this. Ahead of showing you the towers, here's another design I came up with. This is in the world download that's available to all my patrons, so if you're interested in supporting the channel and getting awesome perks, the details are in the description. Each of the towers is identical, so I'll show you how to build one and you can repeat that all the way around. And to start, we're going to come to the edge and we're going to come 3 blocks along, leaving 1 block gap, and then the same on the other side, and each of these 2 sides is going to come up to a total of 23, including this bottom block. Now we're going to build some more pillars, getting shorter as we go. The first one's going to be 17, then the next one's 12, then the next one's 8, and then the next one's 6 high. Stepping down again, the first one is going to be 4 high, then we're going to be 3 high, then 2 lots of 2 high, and 3 lots of 1 high, which should leave 4 for the slabs to take us right the way to the edge. On the outside of both of these towers, we're going to place some more pillars, and these are going to be 14 high, 10, 7, and 4. Next to those, we're going to have 2, and then 2 ones, and then 3 slabs. And then on the second of these ones, going right the way up, we're going to place some stairs against the main building right the way to the top, like so. Now just outside this, we're going to place a stair this way, 2 upside down stairs, a block, and then 2 slabs. Then we're also going to place a stair here, a block with a stair on top like this, and under here we're going to take out these 2 blocks and replace them with sea lanterns. Next, at the back of the build, we're going to take out 2 lots of 9 blocks, and that's going to be 2 deep for each of these pillars in the middle. And then we're going to use some grey concrete to fill in the back of these right the way up to the top on each side. On the outside, we're going to take out these 2 blocks and then these 4 blocks like this. We're going to take out these 2 and replace them with grey concrete on the inside. Then we're going to place a stair here and a stair here with some panes of cyan glass just in the gap. Next to the farm, we're going to place ourselves a stair and 2 upside down stairs here. We're then going to place some grey concrete next to this at the top and at the bottom, and then using the red concrete we're going to run that up a line of 3 here, run that down a line of 3 here, connect those up on the sides, and then fill this gap in with sea lanterns like this. We're then going to take this grey concrete right the way up so it stops just 1 block beneath the top like this on both sides as well. At the front of the tower, starting 2 blocks in, we're going to dig out 5 blocks. That'll take us just to here, and we'll fill this in with grey concrete on both sides. Then in the middle we're going to take out 4 blocks and we're going to run some red concrete coming through in this space. Now we're going to take this grey concrete all the way along, and we're going to make sure that we leave a full block after this one all the way along. So we're going to be following the line of this. So each time it steps in, we're going to come along and then we're going to go up just like this. So there's always 1 full block at the side. We'll do that all the way to the top, with the exception of these corners with the stairs where we can come in level with those, and we'll just bring this all the way then up to the top to connect up. We're then going to take the red concrete in the middle and fill that in right the way through and all the way down into this center section. Now we're going to place some sea lanterns in the build. So we're going to start by putting 1 just under here, then we're going to step down and place 1 on each of these sections just like so, onto this one. Then we're going to skip this first step and put 1 here, place 1 here, and then a final one just in here like this. Now we're also going to add some lighting to the outside of this, and we're going to place a sea lantern here. We're going to place a sea lantern here level with this stair, the one that's just above the glass there. Going to place 1 here as well, and a final one on each side here. The last thing to do on the back of the build is come level with the top of these stairs, go 1, 2, 3, and on the 4th block place a sea lantern. With all 4 towers in place, last thing to do is add some structural supports, and that's going to go from each tower into this central sphere, and also on this central column we're going to have a line of the end rods coming right the way up in each of the corners like this, and also in the center coming through as well, and do that all the way around. To make sure no iron golems can spawn up on the top of these towers, as there are 5 spaces, we're going to place some carpets just here and do that around all of the towers, and then it'll make sure everything spawns in this sphere. To finish the on-off mechanism, we just need to place ourselves 3 trapdoors here, and then close those, and that stops the zombie being able to see the villagers and vice versa through the piston until we actually close the glass, in which case that will activate the farm itself. And the final thing to do is add the entrance, and we'll do that by placing a smooth quartz here and here, sea lantern there diagonally out with 2 smooth quartz on top. We'll fill in this area of the ground with some smooth quartz for some floor, and then we're going to take out this glass block, and then the 2 there. Next we're going to use our wool just so that it's easier to see, and fill this in and place ourselves some blocks coming out level with the entrance itself. But this one's going to be a sea lantern, the last one here, and this glass block we're going to replace with the sea lantern as well. Then we're going to place 2 blocks here, 2 stairs, and lastly we'll just fill these in with the smooth quartz. Once that's done, our build is finished. And now let's turn off the farm as that last golem dies and see how we did. Checking in the chests, looks like we've done pretty well. So basically we've got a stack and a quarter from just over 17 minutes, and that equates to around 300 iron per hour, which is a fantastic amount for a farm of this size. I hope you've enjoyed this build. If you'd like to see a larger version of this, then let me know in the comments, and I will see you all next time on AdieCraft.